The Battle of Clyrion's Rift was supposed to be over before it began. At least, that's what the Karth Dominion believed. They had invaded countless worlds without resistance worth remembering. Their fleet of black-hulled warships was feared across half the spiral arm, their soldiers trained in the brutal logic of overwhelming force. When their scouts reported that the humans had deployed only a single defense line at the rift, the Dominion saw it not as a battle, but as a cleanup operation. High Commander Vrethal stood on the bridge of the Dark Fong, surveying the human formation on the holomap. 32 ships. That was all. Against the Dominion's 200. They've left themselves no escape vector, his aide hissed. Once we advance, they'll have to retreat or be destroyed. Vrethal's mandibles twitched in a predatory smile. Send the demand. Offer them the mercy of surrender before we wipe them away. On the human flagship Resolute Dawn, Captain Mara Ellison listened to the ultimatum without expression. Her bridge crew waited for her reaction, tense but silent. "Transmit our reply," she said at last. Her voice carried across the comm channels, clear and cold. "United Terran Navy does not fall back. You want this rift? You'll have to take it from us." The Dominion commanders were amused. It was the bravado of prey cornered with no way out. They didn't see the glances being exchanged on the Resolute Dawn's bridge, or the way every human officer's posture straightened at those words. The first Dominion volley lit the rift like a storm. Plasma lances, hypervelocity slugs, and energy torpedoes screamed toward the human line. The humans didn't move. Their shields absorbed the first wave, shimmered under the second, and, against all expectation, remained solid under the third. Vrethal narrowed his eyes. Increase firepower. Break their line. Then the mask came off. Up until now, humanity had been fighting in the galaxy with restraint, small fleets, familiar weapons, predictable tactics. The Dominion, like many empires before it, had mistaken that restraint for weakness. On the Resolute Dawn, Captain Ellison gave the quiet order. Aegis Protocol, full release. Across the human fleet, hull plates shifted, revealing hidden weapon arrays that no alien intelligence had ever catalogued. Weapon signatures spiked off every scale. Frequencies the Dominion had no countermeasures for, energy readings beyond known safe limits. And then they fired. Dominion ships that had survived centuries of war were torn apart in seconds. Beams of coherent graviton energy sheared cruisers in half, their wreckage spinning into the rift. Missile salvos moved with intelligence, adjusting mid-flight to bypass shield harmonics and strike reactor cores dead-on. The Resolute Dawn itself unleashed a weapon that defied classification. A cascading wave of spatial distortion that swallowed an entire Dominion battleship, compressing it into a glowing fragment no larger than a fighter. On the Dark Fong, the bridge dissolved into chaos. This isn't possible," one officer shouted. "Their weapons aren't in the databanks. They're not even legal under the Accords." Vrethal gripped the command rail, staring at the holomap as his fleet's numbers plummeted. 32 human ships moved like predators through a school of panicked prey, striking with surgical precision and vanishing before counterfire could lock on. "This isn't the same species we've fought before," his aide whispered. "No," Vrethal said quietly. "This is what they were hiding." By the battle's 10th minute, more than half the Dominion fleet was gone. Survivors tried to retreat, but the humans had already sealed the rift with a web of interdiction fields. Captain Ellison opened a wideband transmission. Her image appeared on every Dominion ship, her voice calm and deadly. "For years, we fought you with the weapons you understood. We gave you a fair fight. You took that for weakness. You mistook our mask for our face." Her eyes hardened. "You've made the mistake of seeing what's underneath." When the final Dominion ship fell silent, the rift was littered with burning debris. The human fleet, battered but intact, held position. There was no cheer on the Resolute Dawn's bridge, only the quiet acknowledgement of a line that had been crossed. Because the war had just changed, and for the first time in centuries, the galaxy would face humanity without its mask.